I think every trader that really wants to take this seriously will kind of go through this journey of just trying things out, and things will come back into your favor. That's what trading is. And I love this quote that says, you stick around the barbershop long enough, sooner or later you're gonna get a haircut.
Hi guys, welcome back to another TFT interview. You guys have decided that you don't want to see any more of the funded interviews. It's easy. Maybe some people can get funded by accident, but now you guys want to see the profitable students or the profitable traders that are funded, that are receiving payouts. What do they do? What is like the commonality here? What are they doing in common that's getting them these consistent payouts and these consistent profits? So with that said, before we get started, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for notifications, subscribe to our page if you're not already, drop a comment. I'm getting really good at that speech. All right, and here we go. Let's get into it. Hi, how are you?
I'm great, Tori. How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks. Let's start with kind of letting everybody know your name, how old you are, and where you're from.
All right, great. So my name is Mamadou. I'm from Senegal. It's West Africa. And I'm 30. I'm 34. I'm starting to lose count.
You and me both.
Yeah, after 30, it just goes by so fast. So yeah.
All righty. And then let everybody know kind of what got you into trading. How did it start?
So for me, trading started about 2 years ago. And, when everyone was stuck in the, indoors, I was looking for something, to get into as far as, finding a way to make some side money. I was already busy with my own personal business, but I felt like I had some time on my hands, so I said, you know what, I'm gonna start looking into trading. I've always been intrigued by actually trading the markets, but for me it wasn't something that I knew that it was possible to do on a day-to-day. For me, it was investing, and then you let it you let that actually get some years, and then from there you make some profit. So but from there I then got curious about it, and then stumbled upon a friend who told me about baby pips, and then from there started taking it a little more seriously, and that's about it. That's where when I started, actually.
Okay, very cool. So this is kind of a new interview, so I haven't had the chance to talk to somebody who started with just your normal like long-term investing, who's somewhat knowledgeable about just that get in and hold. What's your experience with like starting with that get in and hold versus now you're trying to be a day trader and you're in and out?
Day trader, yeah. I mean, the difference is that one requires, both of them require patience, but the other one is more you got to set and forget, right? If you're investing for the long haul, you cannot be out here checking on your investment on a daily basis. You're gonna drive yourself crazy. But the day trading thing, for me, I was like I said, intrigued about the idea of making money, fast, quote unquote. But even though I found out the hard way that doesn't work.
Yeah.
But the difference between day trading and let's say investing and holding is that I'll say, day trading is an ongoing thing. Especially for a trader like me, I'm not a swing trader, so I come to the market on a daily basis looking for a setup. If I find it, fine. If I don't, I'll just do something else. So it's it's in the anticipation. It's a daily thing. Whereas if you invest and you hold, well, you go about either your day job or your business, and then after 6 months, every 6 months or every year you'll see how much you've made, and so on and so forth. So both of them require patience, but I think you have to be more patient, obviously, if you're buying and holding.
Yeah, absolutely. The cool thing for me is I'm the opposite of you. So I started with day trading, and now I don't want to make the switch over, but I want to incorporate some long-term investments. And it's incredibly difficult. They're two totally different strategies, two totally different people. It's not the same at all. So I have to learn a whole new strategy for this long-term stuff.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, no, man. Obviously the time frames, personally, I think my own strategy is a strategy that I could use for that. But the time frames obviously are totally different. And like you said, it's a whole different beast to call it that. So and that's what most people do. I mean, and actually, that's where most people find success. I think if you're buying and holding, whereas day trading is notoriously known to be
well,
difficult. Yeah, tough. Well, but if you have the mind of a trader and you have an edge, you can actually beat the market and makes more money than if you was buying and holding.
Yes, and that's a great point too. I had kind of experimented a little bit between swing trading and day trading, slowly trying to make this transition. And It's crazy to see how, as a swing trader, you've got to hold it for a while. Like you said, you can't be checking it every day, or at least, periodically. But the crazy thing is the movement. So if I had day traded in the time that I had swing traded, there was so much up and down movement. I could have capitalized on those moves. Whereas the swing trader, I broke even. It came back.
Yeah, well, but then again, sometimes swing trading, will get you, will get you to stay in the trade and eventually make more money. And the thing with swing trading, I mean, on a higher time frame is that I feel like you can risk a little bit more than if you was day trading because, the stops are bigger. And, the likelihood of the win rate, most likely, if your edge is good, should be bigger. A little bit higher than, So, it's a different approach. It's all about personality.
Very much so. I agree completely. All righty. Then the next question would be, you're talking about baby pips or like a friend got you into the strategy. So tell me a little bit more about, how they got you into it. Did you have to modify the strategy? What was the process like of learning?
Well, that was just the introduction, I guess. Baby pips will get you to understand what Forex is. Because I'm mainly, a Forex trader. I'm not, I don't trade indices. For now. So the thing was just getting the basics, down. And then from there, trying things out, right? And then from baby pips, I didn't go straight to the market. I first found a mentor, tried that strategy out. Didn't really fit my personality. And then stumbled upon another strategy that was a little bit more something that I was looking for, with a community called Phantom.
Okay.
So we trade SMC. I know SMC takes there's a lot of controversy, I'll say, with this style of trading. I don't know why we have such a bad rap, but me personally, that's why I found success. And my thing is that every strategy will work as long as the trader that actually applies the strategy.
I agree.
Will have a set of rule, understand his edge, and work on his psychology. So that's the most important thing. But yeah, the transition from baby pips was, I had two mentors, tried different strategies, a whole bunch of strategies between the one that I started with and the one that I'm currently trading. I think every trader that really wants to take this seriously will kind of go through this journey of just trying things out and, finding until you find something that actually, works for you,
Yeah, absolutely.
Ultimately, I forced myself to stay with this one, even though sometimes, like probably you experience every other trader, you'll go through some, some rough times, but you gotta stick with it. You gotta stick with it.
I agree. And I think that's incredibly insightful for new traders as well, because a lot of people I'm not sure if they understand that, different strategies work for different people. Like you said, the first one you tried, it didn't quite fit your personality type or maybe your lifestyle. Yeah. And there's like that tough process of trying different ones out. And I think one of the hardest parts too is giving each strategy enough of a shot to see if it actually works. So it's so intricate in trying different strategies, making sure you try it in different market conditions. So it's the process of finding a strategy that works for you is an incredible procedure.
Yeah, it's a process. And me personally, I've been a victim of this, of, jumping from one strategy to the next. But like you said, you got to give it time. and understand that, some strategies will work well with certain market conditions,
Right.
and some will just not. And and at one point, the things will come back into your favor. That's what trading is, and it's all about sticking. I mean, I love this quote that says, if you stick around the barbershop long enough, sooner or later you're gonna get a haircut. One of my favorite actors, Denzel Washington, used to say that. But that's exactly what it is. Trading is, especially when it comes to strategies, you got to understand that your strategy will suck sometimes, and sometimes you'll just feel like your strategy is exactly in tune with the market. So everything that you throw at it will work. But you gotta have that, let's say, very, very relaxed approach to the market. Understand that don't let wins get you too high. Don't let losses get you too low. You just gotta stick with the process, and then eventually you'll find profitability.
Yeah, exactly. And as far as that market condition that you've mentioned, so something like me, I'm a trend line trader. So I follow trends, or I get in when trends are broken. So my strategy works incredibly when a trend is happening. But in a ranging market, I have to understand that I'm not going to excel. My strategy is not going to be the most profitable when the market's going sideways. It's a perfect example as to the different strategies work in different market conditions. And sometimes you'll feel like your strategy is on point. You're just hitting every move. And then sometimes you're like, is this the right strategy? So it's to be able to understand that is putting you already on a different level.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying. I'm very, very new to trading because I'm only 2 years in. But I feel
you're
like
understanding so far, though. You're on point with a lot of things. I mean, you've got the concept down.
That's the only thing that I've been doing literally for the past 2 years. So, I mean, I have a side business that is bringing me enough money to kind of pay for my bills and whatnot. So trading becomes a little bit less difficult if you don't attach money to it, too much. If let's say it's not your only source of income, you have a different approach to the market, because we all have a different relationship with money. Me at first, when everything was going, let's say, right, beginner's luck or whatever, everything that I was doing was just hitting, and I was making a lot of money. But you got to understand that it doesn't take any skill to put on a winning trade, right? Anybody can jump into a market, and say, I see a buy here. And then, but the thing is, can you do it consistently over a set amount of time, with 6 months, a year? So that's the challenge for all traders. And I'm developing slowly, but hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. All righty. The next question would be kind of psychology. So like, what is over the past 2 years, what have you been able, it seems like your psychology, first of all, so far is just, you're very understanding of the market, but how are you taking losses? How are you handling wins? Like, how's that psychology for you?
I mean, psychology is 90% of trading. Honestly, I used to hear that quote a lot, but I used to think that it was a little bit overrated. But actually, I know that psychology is everything. But for me, I have a set of rules, like I think every profitable trader should have. I limit myself to 2 trades a day. If the first trade is a loser, and I trade London and New York, both sessions, because I only trade one pair. So if when I trade London and New York, if I get a loss in London, I don't get to trade until New York. And the second trade needs to be an A+ setup in my book. So, and I also limit myself to 4 losing trades in a row. If I have that in a week, I'm done for the week. 2 losses in a day, obviously I'm done for the day. So that's kind of these rules that I've set in place to kind of protect myself. As far as psychology, I've struggled with, a lot of these demons inside my head, or whatever you want to call it. But that's kind of these beliefs that you have about losses and losing and whatnot, and understanding that at the end of the day, trading is all about probability. It's how long can you take on a loss until the next winning trade comes along. And, I understand my edge. I know kind of have a ballpark idea of how many losses can I expect sometimes until I have a winner.
Okay.
I know my risk to reward can, make up for all those losses. So these are the things that I tell myself. And I have a routine. I document all my trades. I journal all my trades. I also do this new thing that I started in 2023 where I record myself at the end of every session, like on my phone. And I call it a mood journal. So I record myself for 1 minute and I say to myself how I felt about, not taking a trade or taking a trade, taking a loss, taking a win, this and the third. So that by the end of the week, I listen to those audios, and if I can pick up on something, I use that and I journal that. So it's all about, having a structure at the end of the day to protect yourself from, over trading, revenge trading, but also to make sure that you follow the rules that your edge requires for you to be profitable.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems like you're very self-aware when it comes to trading. And I think that's an incredible quality to have, even outside of trading, is just to be very self-aware, understand, your emotions that you're feeling when you're getting out of trade. So I think documenting that is going to be incredibly helpful. Next question is going to be kind of walk me through your day as a day trader. Like, what pairs are you looking at? You said you just trade one. What time frame? And then also give us a little bit of insight on your funded account. How much are you trading with? Payout info. So let's get all into the nitty gritty side of it.
Nitty gritty. All right. So, my day starts kind of 30 minutes before London Open. I've already done my, my markups for the day prior, and I get into the markets, looking for my setups. If I find them, fine. If I don't, I'll run my other businesses. And, go about my day, go to the gym, come back before New York, play some video games when I get the time. And that's about that. Now, if I have a trade, well, I'll place it, leave it alone, let it do its thing. Most of my trades don't run more than a day.
Okay.
More than 24 hours. So I usually know by the end of the session if, I've had a winner or a loser. Sometimes I'll let them run overnight, but that's no more than 24 hours, let's say, for me. Yeah, and then I'll journal my trades, and that's about it. That's about it. That's my routine. As far as the funded account, with the funded trader, I have a 200K account that I've had for 3 months, I think. Yeah, 3 months. And I've had a hard time to get. It took me a while to get to this account right here. I had a lot of challenges that I failed, in 2022. But when I got to it, now I'm taking my risk down, all the way down, risking 0.5, depending on, market conditions, time of the year. For example, December for me was a month where I needed to kind of take it slow a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
So my risk went down. And my payout, my biggest payout that I've had with the funded trader was a $15,000 payout.
Whoa.
So
that's amazing.
That was nice. And I've actually just went through the payout process for a new one today. But this one is a lot smaller, so it's $1,800. So I'm just trying to stick with a smaller risk, right? And then get consistent payouts slowly but surely, and just build up not only a buffer but also my own personal account. That's kind of the goal for me. 2023, 2022 was a year for me to really go after these challenges, and it was very, very taxing. But for this year, for me, I feel like I just want to trade my funded account and then just focus on that.
Absolutely. Those are incredible goals. Awesome. And congrats, by the way, on the consistency as far as having that funded account and getting payouts. I mean, it's an incredibly difficult thing to do, and you're already on your way there 2 years in. Next question is, let's see if we can do a screen share and kind of just walk us through an idea of what the strategy is like. Yeah.
So this is my only pair that I share. I'm going to try to find something here, even though we can all see this huge range that we just got out of on EURUSD during the month of December, which was obviously a range-bound month, expected as well because of low liquidity and traders going on vacation and hedge funds and whatnot. So and most of these banks. So let me take a look at something here I can show you to kind of understand the way I approach the market. So for me, I have like I said, I only trade one pair, and I do look at 3 to 4 time frames mostly to not only choose my bias, long-term bias, short-term bias, and find trade ideas and execute. So I trade like I said, supply and demand, and the interaction between those two, obviously with a set of confluences that I look for. So for example, here we can all see on the daily that EURUSD has been bullish for literally from October until now. So usually the daily is not just something that I really spend a lot of time on. It's more just to see how candles close and the overall trend for the pair. Now, most of my analysis is done on the 4 hour. I'm gonna remove most of these drawings just to kind of go over something fresh here. So for example, what I usually look for is the interaction, like I said, between supply and demand. So from here, I'm a kind of focus on more recent price action here. Let's say we start from here. December the 13th. Here we can see that obviously we have a break of structure to the upside, following the overall trend that price has been following. Let's identify this 4 hour demand. We can see that price here actually interacted with supply on the left. Let me identify it here so we can all see this supply over here. So I look at the interaction between the demand and the supply. Here, when price initially reacted to this supply, it came back down obviously to this demand here, and for the sake of making this a little bit easier, we already know that we are bullish, right? Because price has been, pushing up, demand is holding, and supply is failing all the way. So let me try to find a trade here, for example. Price is coming back. This is a 4 hour demand. Let me jump to the 15 here and try to justify a reaction. So there is multiple lenses that are used to kind of look for an entry, right? I look at the liquidity. So I look at, for example, areas where price pushed up or pushed down aggressively. So here, for example, I identify this as liquidity. And liquidity in the term, in SMC can be seen as inducement. Inducement is just a fancy term for liquidity that's been left there for price to come back and take later, right? So let's say price here created a 4 hour demand zone and then interacted with supply, came back all the way down to this demand zone. I can refine the 4 hour zone here to show you a more let's say precise zone that price may tap in on the 15-minute. Here we have this wick over here. So price came down aggressively, shot back up just as aggressively, and leaving this wick here. While it was actually going up, you saw that it made a pause here, and then from there started pushing back up. So here, to me, I'm looking for price to come and sweep, obviously, these type of areas where price is leaving some liquidity to come back and sweep. So when price came back down to this area, it swept and tapped this 15-minute refine zone, POI. So this is now I'm looking for signs that demand is taking back control, because obviously when it left this supply zone, we was quote unquote bearish. So I need to wait for confirmation. I already know that the liquidity has been swept. So in my eyes, price has already accomplished its goal. Now we can follow along with the overall trend. All right. So I identify here a 15-minute supply zone. That price created on its way down. So here, for example, okay, price comes up to the 15-minute supply zone, comes back down, and then supply fails again here. So this to me is what I call a flip. Okay, this is the concept that I've learned in my with my mentors, and so this flip is kind of interaction where money is obviously changing hands and demand is taking control. So here we can see that this area here, this candle right here, and you see the candle is white. So that's what we call inside bar. Inside bar is a candle that is contained, within the previous candle. So that's usually a sign for money changing hands. And if you have an inside bar and then follow along here, for example, by a strong push, that shows that buyers have entered the market. So supply fails. In my eyes here, I say, okay, because there's multiple ways to look for entries. I can say, okay, I want the minute here that, let me come back here. It's going to be easier if I do bar replay. The minute that this supply fails, for example, and I know that we have enough liquidity to push up, what I can do is say, okay, I have this flip zone. I can enter, have a stop right here below this candle, and then target the most recent high, right? And then from there, we'll let it play out. Price comes, tags me in eventually, not here, all right, right here. And then, well, this is obviously after the facts, easy to actually call this trade in hindsight, but it just gives you an idea of what I usually look for. So it's kind of an interaction between supply and demand. And most of my entries, I find them on the even lower time frames than this. So 5 minutes or sometimes even 1 minute. So it takes a lot of trial and error to find something that works. I have a set of confluences that I look for. It's a strategy, obviously, that will not give you a high win rate. So you got to have the psychology to, take on these losses. Like 10 losses in a row is something that I can expect. But then again, I know that, the 11th trade can come and give me 15%. Obviously, my risk is, like I said, cut all the way down. But why I choose this strategy and not a strategy where, I can risk, for example, 0.5% or even 1% and go on the 4 hour and have the trades with bigger stops and so on and so forth. A lot of people might ask this question, but the thing is, this is what works for me. And this is what fills my personality. I don't like to market execute, for example. So trades where I need to enter the market, with the market execution is not something that works well for me because I tend to add positions and so on and so forth. I like the system where I can trade with limits. So price comes, takes me in, and then from there I know exactly where my TP is, where my stop loss is. And, it just works for me. And I know that by the end of the day, I know what to expect. It's either a win or a loss. And I come back the next day, rinse and repeat. I know, for example, also that even though the win rate is low, for example, last year I generated more than 100% return on my and this is obviously even risking, for example, 0.5% or 0.25 is still decent for me. It's good enough for me, and even my win rate is around 30%, which is low. But then again, other people have win rate that are like around 40, 45% or even 50%, and they cannot generate the amount of let's say risk to reward that we can generate with this type of strategy. So it's all about just what fits for you. If you are a swing trader, you can be patient, holding on to trades for 2-3 days, go for it. But for me, I've done those type of style of trading, didn't work for me. So it's all about just finding what works for you, and that's about it.
Amen to that. No, this was excellent. First of all, you're an incredible, I want to say teacher, but like I followed that beautifully, and I've never seen the smart money concepts put into play. Like, I mean, I've heard there's lots of talk about, smart money concept traders, but this is incredibly insightful to actually see how some of it is, applied. This was easy to follow along. You did excellent. That was great.
Yeah, thanks for that. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So next question is going to be, let's wrap it up and leave it off with your experience with the funded trader. And, you can compare it to other, I know you said you maybe have some other prop firm accounts too.
Yeah,
so what's your experience across the board?
Well, across the board, honestly, it's been A+ now for me, because I'm funded with other prop firms, and I'm having obviously a good experience with them. But Funded Trader is up there with the best. And the thing with me is that now trading is my full-time gig. It's a full-time gig for me. It's not my only source of income, but this is my main source of income. So I take this very seriously. So back in the days when I started to really look into prop firms, I stumbled upon funding talent back in the days. Obviously, we all know how that story ended. And I was actually funded with them. I got funded with them the day where they announced that they were actually going to. Yeah, that was a heartbreak like no other. And from there, I said, okay, I'm going to look into other prop firms. Back in the days, I think the Funded Trader just started. And, I went with other prop firms and got funded with them. And in order for me to increase my capital, I went with the Funded Trader. The prices are very, very fair. And there's a lot of programs for every trader, right? For every type of trade. And the targets are reasonable. The payouts are also very fast, and usually get the payouts with deal within 2 days or 3 max. And my experience has been A+. Honestly, the customer service is there to answer any questions. And for me, the most important thing is a prop firm that I can trust with my money, right? Because I've experienced prop firms where I didn't get a payout. For example, I don't know if they're coming back or not, but I was also funded with the prop trading. So all of a sudden they say there is an investigation over there in Australia. Yeah. So overnight I lost, a 200K account with them. Right. So, for me, it's not a big deal because I'm funded with obviously the Funded Trader and other prop firms. But if that's your only prop firm, man, it kind of is a huge bummer. Right.
Yeah.
And so I would advise people to really go for these really established names in the prop firm industry, such as the Funded Trader. There isn't many. It's 2 or 3, and do your homework. Do what know what works for you as far as the program that fits your trading style. And understand that some of these prop firms are really serious. It's a really amazing opportunity, and if you treat it treat this like a business and invest back into the business, like I did, because for me, I invested a lot of my profits at first to get back other accounts. Now that I'm maxed out with other prop firms, so my goal is to get maxed out with the Funded Trader as well.
Yeah.
Even though I'm taking it a little bit slow this year, because it's taxing to trade with my own style of trading, and also know that you're trading challenges. It's a little bit difficult. But to come back to the question, the Funded Trader has been amazing. I didn't stress about this payout money. This amount is huge. Like, am I going to get my money? Or I've had this feeling with other prop firms, and go with a prop firm like this where if you trade within the rules, that your money will be paid out. So that's the most important thing. A prop firm that you can trust.
Yeah. Awesome. I really appreciate the feedback, Mamadou. Is there anything else that you want to share with everybody before we end this interview today?
Yeah, well, like I said, thanks for the opportunity. it is one that I wish I had known about a little bit sooner, because I was, like I said, very hesitant at first with prop firms. Like, is it a scam? Is it a third?
Yeah.
But I'm very, very happy that I went all in with this opportunity, and I would advise other traders to take this seriously and understand that these challenges are challenging to say, but they're not impossible. If you have an edge and you stick with it, you will pass. And then from there, you can treat this as another way of making money, or build up a personal account, or if you're just doing it to just have some extra money to spend at the end of the month or whatever. But it is a great opportunity. So, stick with it. To every trader out there, understand that, this opportunity is I see it as a once in a lifetime opportunity. So I'm very, very grateful, first of all, to have found the funded trader, and this whole thing about making money online, because it's always been something that I've been fascinated by, the possibility of making money remotely. And, now that I'm in the industry that allows me to do that, I'm going all in. And so that's something that I'm grateful for. And that's pretty much all I have to say.
Yeah, awesome. I appreciate all of the feedback, and another congratulations on the payouts and the consistency. I mean, you're doing great and you're on the right track. I'm super excited for you.
Thanks. Appreciate it. I'm excited as well. So let's see what 2023 has in store.
All right, let's go. All righty, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for taking the time today, Mamadou.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye. See ya.